Folks, we're back. We are back. Ice Cold Sports, America's sports show, but you already know that. I'm Tom again, here talking to you from beautiful Colorado. Look out there. Look at that beautiful scenery for today's episode. Just wanted to give you people a nice little morsel, a little treat. But, let's hop right into it. Tonight, Celtics, Heat, Game 5. Celtics were able to avoid getting swept in Game 4. That was pretty cool. That was a tough go of it there for half a second for the Celtics. Still a tough go of it if they want to come back from this deficit. However, it came out. Gabe Vincent out. He's out tonight. He's been averaging more than 17 points a game in this series. His loss could be troubling if you're a Heat fan. Troubling. And because of it, ask me, gun to head, I would say I think that the Celtics can win tonight. I mean, the way that Tatum turned it on last game, even in the face of Jimmy Butler scoring 29 against him, and plus it's going back to Boston. You get home court advantage. I know it didn't work out well in those first two games of the series, but now they're back, and it's if I were a Boston fan, I would not be counting them out in this game right now, sending it to a Game 6. We'll see what happens. That was send it back to Miami. But for tonight, if I were to, make me guess, force me to guess, I'm taking the Celtics tonight. Send it to a Game 6, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Hey, if it goes to a Game 6, it can always go to a Game 7. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. But that should be an exciting game to watch. Finally get back to some basketball. For a minute there, we had a nice thing going where it was Eastern Conference Finals one night, Western Conference Finals one night. Nice back and forth every night basketball. Now we have to wait in between days for games, which sucks. But get to back to some basketball tonight, and then get ready for the finals starting next week. So get excited, folks. Mike Block. So if you don't know who Mike Block is, you might think that sounds like a weird computer programmer thing, like it's stopping viruses. Mike Block. No, it's not Mike Block. Mike Block. Not Mike Block. Mike Block, obviously the guy who finished 15th in the PGA Championship last week. That was a pretty impressive finish because he is a club pro. However, he goes on Bob Menery's podcast. He's tuned in with all the guys in the Full Send crew. He goes on there, talks to them, and he makes the comment that says, if I could hit it as far as Rory McIlroy, I could be one of the finest golfers on earth. And people aren't happy about it. They're saying, oh man, well, who is this guy? Who is this guy? This guy sounds like a real jerk, as the great Norm Macdonald would say. I love Norm Macdonald. Just hate how it came out of my mouth. Point is, I think it's a combination of things. One, he's not 100% wrong. He's not 100% wrong, because if he had, if any human being had Rory McIlroy's, drive game and then had some pretty good chipping and putting, then they could be really, really good. One of the best they could be on the tour for sure. They could be a consistent tour player, who I guess that makes them one of the best in the world. So to be fair to him, maybe that would be true. Maybe he would be not a club pro. He would be an actual guy who's on the tour full time if he had that kind of long ball on his driving game. However, saying that you're world class makes you think that you're the best of the best. You're like the guys that are going out there and they're winning majors. They're doing it. They're making it happen. I doubt that even with all that other stuff, even if he had a drive like Rory McIlroy, that he would be like one of those elite, like the elite of the elite PGA golfers who are already the elite of the elite. And people are coming after him. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he kind of misspoke, because that doesn't sound great. But at the same time, it's a tough look if you actually think you could be like a Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy-esque guy, just if you had the drive. I'm not saying he's not a good chipper, good putter. I just don't think so. George Washington University. So George Washington University, they've been the Colonials for a long time. They have finally officially changed their name. They're going to be the Revolutionaries from now on. They're going to be the Revolutionaries. Which, first of all, and this needs to be said, pretty sick nickname. I'm not a fan of changing nicknames because of social pressure or whatever, but man, That's the kind of a cool nickname. You gotta say that. Kind of a cool nickname. And also the argument is made that George Washington probably wouldn't like being called the Colonials, because he probably thought that was like someone said it was like parochial, like it's like it makes them sound like they're like subservient, which I guess that's a fair criticism to make, and that's something that can be said. At the same time, it always seemed like it was a nice little tribute to the people who founded this country, the people that were here when this country was founded, the colonists. I don't know. On principle, I don't love this move. On principle. Although at the same time, I think it's kind of a baller name. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. I'll let them have it. Seems like they've been, there's not that as much pushback as there is on some name changes. So, and it's a cool enough nickname. And it's still talking about the Revolutionary War. So, GW, live and let live. I guess not for the Colonials nickname, but for you guys, live and let live on all that stuff, all that crap. Finally, and this is a topic that I think is going to become much more prevalent, honestly, in sports media in the next few weeks. This is kind of me reading the tea leaves and seeing, this is going to be big and this is going to be big. This is going to be like a storyline. So, last week, Mike Bohn, B-O-H-N, I don't know how to pronounce the name 100%. He resigns at USC. He cites health issues. And then USC puts out a weird statement that says something like, the president of USC said that there's some type of internal investigation going on surrounding, at the same time as him leaving, saying that lots of harassment, abuse, all these weird sounding things, elder abuse, child abuse, gender-based harassment, sexual harassment, all this stuff. And at the same time, it comes out, The Athletic drops today that at Cincinnati, where he was before he was at USC, there was some type of controversy where it was he had created a toxic environment. So I don't know what's about to drop at USC, but there could be a scandal coming from USC here. And I think it's one of those things where they need to push him out of the way, kind of get him out of there as quickly as possible, try to limit the damage as much, but it could be something that drops soon enough. And they could be the one that drop it themselves. They could self-report this stuff because this is all part of an investigation they're doing with an outside law firm. So I don't know. It's a little strange. I've always had a weird thing about Mike because he was at the University of Colorado and then he got fired and then he went to Cincinnati, and I always felt like a weird dynamic because then he was at USC after he got fired at Colorado. I don't know, but that's something I wanted to give you guys that because I think that's something to look out for. I think it's one of those scandals that could be coming soon. I am not 100% sure. Obviously, things could break a billion different ways, but keep your eyes out for that in the upcoming weeks with the headlines. And if you hear about it, remember who told you about it first, about this potential scandal breaking out. Old Tommy. That about wraps it up, folks. Enjoy the basketball tonight because if the Heat win, we won't have basketball until a week from now because they don't start the NBA Finals till June 1st. Please subscribe on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, Ice Cold Sports, at Ice Cold SPRTS on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff, at Tommy S. GAHAN on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the socials, and go to icecoldsports.com. Thank you all for watching and or listening or whatever. I'm Tom McGann, and this has been Ice Cold. It's pretty hot out here. It's not that ice cold, but my heart's nice icy cold. Ice Cold Sports. See you guys.